Hello, what's up everybody? I'm Jackie. Welcome to Emme He. I've had this channel for a while and it has been in many different departments. But I decided to try Booktube because I've been interested in it a long time and I think that I can do this, so I'm gonna do it. So today I'm going to be doing the BookNoob Tag, which was created by Jacquie. I like this better than the regular new booktuber tag, so I'm going to do this one instead. And the questions are just on my phone, so that is why I'm going to be looking at it. So here we go. Question 1. Why did you decide to join Booktube? I decided to join Booktube because I really enjoy the content and I had like a yearning in my soul to make one. I do have a Bookstagram, which is where I just post my books and stuff, and I really thought that I could do this just for fun and to make friends who like to read, because most of my friends don't like it or don't have the time, so that's why. Question 2. What does your channel name mean? Emme He is my channel name and I actually have it tattooed on me. I can see that. I have it tattooed on me and it's my brand. I knew and I still do know whatever I end up doing in my life, this is what it's going to be named Emme He, which is why I have it tattooed on me. But Emme He is basically OMG in Spanish. I just spelt it differently. And it's just the embodiment of what I think I am, if that makes sense. Question 3. What new and unique things will you bring to BookTube? I mean, I think my personality is pretty bomb, so I'm bringing that. Also, a lot of positivity. At this point in BookTube, honestly, I feel like there's very few things that are new and different that you can bring because the community is already big enough to where everybody has their own representation. So I think just like my personality, my bubbliness, my goofiness, like all that stuff is what I would bring to YouTube. And I'll definitely be doing like the typical BookTube stuff. So yeah. Number 4, what genres will you be talking about on your channel? So if you can't see, well, you can't see the bottom, but I have pretty much every genre of books. I don't discriminate. The only ones that I'm kind of like about is horror and thriller, because I just don't like things that are scary in general, like movies, anything. But I'll be talking about everything. I have anthologies and poetry behind me. I have classics, contemporary, fantasy behind me. I have nonfiction right here. I have historical fiction. Down here is fairy tale retellings, which I know is not like a genre, but they definitely deserve to be a genre. Or just retellings in general deserve to be a genre. I love retellings. And then behind me on the bottom, I have romance. And then I have, in this last copy, I have mystery, thriller, or anything suspenseful or scary. And I just call it my MTS shell. Mystery, thriller, scary. So I'll be talking about all that. I also do read both YA and adult. Lately it's been a little bit more adult, but depends. My reading mood goes up and down, back and forth, all over the place. So I'll be talking about pretty much everything on here. What are my top 5 favorite books is number 5. Well, these are in no particular order. These are just the 5 books that I absolutely adore. The first one is Love Looks Pretty on You by Lang Leave. This is my first poetry book by her, and I absolutely loved it. My Bookstagram story was filled with these when I was reading it, and I kept sending them to my boyfriend, like different prose and poetry. She talks about so many things that I absolutely adore, and I will definitely be rereading this time and time again. So this is the first of the 5 favorite. This one is a representation, because this is actually my favorite series, and this is Bard to You by Sylvia Day, and I love the whole Crossfire series. There's 5 books in the series. They're all my favorites, but since I only got to pick 5 books, I didn't want to pick just the, just the series. But this book speaks for all of them. And this is romance. Adult romance. Very adult romance. There's a lot of non-children appropriate scenes in there. My third favorite is Hunted by Megan Spooner. This is my first book that I also read by her, and it is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and anybody that knows me in real life knows Beauty and the Beast is my jam. I love Beauty and the Beast. It's my favorite Disney princess movie, and I'm obsessed with this retelling of it. I think it was so good. It left me feeling so good afterwards. So yes, and my nails match color. My fourth favorite is Don't Tempt Me by Lori Foster. This was the first adult romance, I'm pretty sure, that I read. Or this year. The first adult romance I read this year. This one is a little bit more wholesome than Bard to You. There still are sexual scenes in here. However, Lori Foster has a way of writing sex scenes that make you feel like, oh my gosh, like, oh, like, I don't know, it just makes you feel giddy inside, and like, it's just so cute. So, yeah. And the last and final favorite, my fifth favorite book is On the Corner of Bitter and Sweet by Jamie Ford. This book was the first ever historical fiction that I read, and I absolutely loved it. I have reread it twice since I read it the first time, and it's just so good. This is, like I said, historical fiction. It takes place during World War II. He has another book that takes place in World War I, which I kind of got the two of them confused because I love that one too. But I could only pick 5 books. So this one I love a little bit more. It's awesome. Before this, I didn't really like historical fiction. To be fair, I didn't really give it a chance before this. The thing that drew me into this was the title, On the Corner of Bitter and Sweet, and I'm glad it drew me in. You should go pick it up. And it's Own Voices. Jamie Ford is a Japanese American or Chinese American. I'm not really sure into my background. And this takes place with both a Chinese and a Japanese character. The 2 main characters. Alright, so I guess that answers number 5. Number 6. What do you enjoy, or where do you enjoy reading? Where do I enjoy reading? Um, Everywhere. I often carry a book with me, and obviously I have books on my phone, and I just bought a Kindle, so I can't wait for that to come in. That I will be carrying around with me, and I have audiobooks and stuff, so that anywhere I have a chance to read, like I don't drive right now, so I take public transportation, and I'm quick to pull out like my book or my audiobook, and yeah, so I like to read everywhere. I read in my bed, I read on the couch, I read in the kitchen while I'm waiting for something to cook. I read um, everywhere. I read on the bus. I read pretty much anywhere and anywhere that I have, anywhere and anytime that I have the opportunity to pull out a book that I'm not necessarily busy, I will do so. Number 7 is a bookish this or that. So the first question is paperback or hardback. I do prefer hardback, even though I love them both, but I do prefer hardback just because I feel like it's easier to take care of a hardback, especially since I do carry my books around with me everywhere. Um, so yeah, but I do also love paperback. I have love for them both. Second choice, fantasy or contemporary. Um, Depends on my mood. Right now, I would say fantasy. But if you ask me in a couple days, I might say contemporary. We'll go with fantasy for right now. Um, Choice 3. I see a lot. Choice number 3. Backlist books or new releases. I will have to say backlist books just because I have a lot to catch up on. I do also love new releases, but there's a lot of backlist books. Most of my books, like all this, my whole bookshelf right now is unread books. And then I have my read books on my dresser in stacks, which I'm gonna have to figure out something else for that. But I separate them, and so all these are backlist books. There are some new releases, and there's some people that like as soon as they come out with a new release, I'm on it. Like Sylvia Day came out with a new release, and I already bought it. Um, there was a book that just came out that I have up there. His Hideous Heart, bought that. But also, there's a lot of books that, because I haven't read for so long, I'm just now coming upon. And obviously, most of them are backlists, so backlist. Library or bookstore? I'd have to say bookstore. I do love the library for like audiobooks, but as far as like reading a book, I have this thing that once I read a book, I need to own it because I do want to have like my own personal library one day, and I know that's terrible and super consumerist, but I don't know, I have, that's one of my things, like whether I love it, hate it, whatever, I always keep it, which is why my book stack is so big. Um, Next option is series or standalone. I would say I love them both. This is so hard because sometimes I read a standalone and I'm like, oh my gosh, I wish you were part of the series because I want more, right? But then sometimes I read series and I'm like, this has gone on for too long. One book, maybe two, would have been good. I'm gonna say series because I just don't like I have a hard time with change and things ending. So I'm gonna say series because at least I can hold on to it a little bit longer before I have to move on to like another book or whatever, or another series. Next is enemies to lovers or friends to lovers. Friends to lovers, I really despise enemies to lovers. I wouldn't say despise. I don't mind it if it's done the right way. However, I prefer friends to lovers. Yes. Or, better, enemies to friends to lovers. That would be the perfect, the perfect line. Or the perfect progression. Would love that. Next is villain to hero or hero to villain. Villain to hero or an anti-hero, is that what they're called? Where like you're not 100% good, but you do good. Like what's his name? The red guy. He's a superhero. What is his name? And he wears a mask. Deadpool. His name is Deadpool. Like Deadpool. Deadpool is definitely an anti-hero. Either way, I choose villain to hero. I don't like seeing someone go bad. That's not enjoyable. Unless you met them bad first and then you got the backstory, how they were good, and then they went to villain. That is really interesting. Last choice is love triangle or insta love. I absolutely despise every single form of love triangles. That trope is never good to me. I feel like I'm too empathetic to be okay with that type of thing, because you feel bad for the one who's a little bit less chosen, or when the one who's in the center of the triangle is, when you feel like they're playing both the other ends. Yeah, it's never a good situation, and then eventually they do choose somebody, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this other person just wasted all this time on this individual who chose the other individual, and it's just not a good time. And I don't like it at all. So, insta love for sure. Number 8, what are some challenges you think you will face in booktube? I don't know. I try to go into a situation not looking at the bad or the challenges, but the good and the opportunities. So I'm gonna say to be continued. Can I update you guys on a later date? I am super excited. That was the last question. I'm so excited to be entering this community. So I'm excited to embark on this journey with you, whoever you are. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to subscribe. I will place my Bookstagram in the description. And yeah, if you have any questions or anything you want to ask me, or if you just feel like it, you can comment below. If you feel like it, you can subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. That's about it. Remember to spread peace and positivity all day, every day, and it'll come back to you. And remember to keep reading. Bye.